Good morning, class. Today we will begin with our supplementary reader in English, which is An Alien Hand. Now, this book has got a lot of stories. I would not say chapters, but I would say stories, because each and every topic in this book is very fascinating and interesting to read. It keeps the readers engrossed in its stories. So let us begin with the very first topic, which is the tiny teacher. Now, when I say the word teacher, the first thing that would come to your mind would be your school teachers, right? Then you start imagining your teacher, her way of teaching, her way of talking, her way of dressing, her hair, her pen, her purse, and a lot of things. Now, when I say the word tiny teacher, what does it mean? A teacher who is short-heighted? No. A teacher who carries a tiny pencil box? No. The word tiny teacher here refers to a creature in this world which is very small, very tiny, almost tiniest creature also we can say, but has got numerous things to teach. Now, who is this tiny teacher? Can anybody think which creature I'm talking about? Yes, many of you might have got the answer. I am talking about the ant. A-N-T, ant. The right pronunciation is ant, not aunt. Aunt is A-U-N-T. But I'm talking about ant, who is a tiny teacher. Now, what do we learn from this tiny teacher? How can this small creature teach us so much that we have a story on it, we have a topic on it? Let us start reading it. Though so very small, the ant is unbelievably intelligent and hardworking. Among the various kinds, the commonest ant is the black or red. Ants live in comfortable homes called anthills. Now, this is a small description about ants. Let's start reading it. Name the smallest insect you have seen and the wisest. That means ant is not only small, yet wisest also. Wisest means intelligent. Is it the fly? No, it isn't. Is it the mosquito? No, not the mosquito. Then it must be the worm. No, none of these. Now the author here says, can you think of a creature who is tiny yet wise? Somebody would say fly. No. Mosquito? No. Worm? No. It is the ant. The commonest, the smallest, but the wisest. Commonest because it can be seen anywhere. Ants are almost everywhere. Your home, your school, the roads, anywhere. And smallest, yet they are the wisest creature. The story of an ant's life sounds almost untrue. If you read the story of the ant, you'll say that it's false. It cannot happen. This is a made up story. It's not a fact. It's not true. But it is a true story. But people have kept ants as pets and have watched their daily behavior closely. So we know a number of facts about this tiny, hardworking and intelligent creature. So the author here says that you might find this fact to be false, that people have kept ants as pets. But yes, they do have kept ants as pets and they have watched their behavior closely. And because of this observation, they have come out with various facts that would amaze the readers. An ant uses its feelers or antenna, which is these two antennas or feelers, to talk to other ants by passing messages through them. Watch a row of ants moving up and down the wall. Each ant greets all the others coming from the opposite direction by touching their feelers. Now you might have not seen this. Why? Because you were negligent towards the behavior of ants. But people who have observed their behavior, they came out with the fact that these two ants exchange messages by using their antennas. There are many kinds of ants. The commonest among them are the black or reds. You have seen, we call them Kali Cheeti and Red Cheeties. Yes. We have seen them since we were children but haven't paid enough attention to them. Where do they live? Now we are seeing these creatures, common creatures, since our childhood but haven't paid any heed to where they live, what they eat, what they do. In their comfortable homes called nests or anthills. This is the name of their home. Each has hundreds of little rooms and passages. In some of these rooms, the queen ant lay eggs. Others are nurseries for the young ones called grubs. So you'll find there are various homes. They collect these small sands and they make a hill of it. We call it ant hills. In one of such hills lives the queen ant who lays eggs, and the other are nurseries. That means where their babies grow up, and they are known as grubs. Workers have their reserved quarters. Now they do have their own world. The workers, the working ants, they have their own quarters, their own homes. They spend most of their time searching for food. Some rooms serves as storehouses for this food. You know, ants have this behavior of collecting their food in the entire summer. You will always find ants moving from one direction to other. You will never see them resting. They don't rest in the open. In summers, they collect their food and preserve it for the winters, because in winters, they hibernate. They burrow themselves inside the land and have to survive on the food that they have collected. Soldiers have separate barracks. So there are soldiers also among the ants. So they live like human beings only. Some are designated as soldiers. Some are the ants who look after the babies. Then one is the queen ants. Then there were worker class also. No worker has ever tried to live in a soldier house. No soldier has ever gone out searching for food. Soldiers are meant to guard the houses, and workers are meant to go out in search of food, and each one of them do their duty. And you will never see a worker guarding the anthills or a soldier going out. They don't exchange their duties. No worker, soldier, cleaner has ever harmed a grub. That means they don't destroy the nurseries where the young ones grow. So you see, an ant's life is very peaceful. Each does its share of work intelligently and bravely, and never fights with other members of the group. The queen is the mother of the entire population of the colony. It lives for about 15 years. So the queen is the mother. She lays eggs, gives birth to baby ants, and she lives for about 15 years. It has a pair of wings. Now this is surprising that ants have a pair of wings, but bites them off after its wedding flight. So the queen mother, it has got wings, but then it bites its wings off its body after its wedding flight, after she's wedded to the male ant, or we can say king ant. This flight takes place on a hot summer day. The queen leaves the nest and goes out to meet a male ant or drone high up in the air. On its return to earth, it gets rid of its wings and then does nothing but lay eggs. So the mother ant, when she goes to meet the father ant, she flies with her wings, and then when she meets the father, the male ant, she drops off her wings and return back, and her work is to give birth to the small and little young ants. Eggs hatch and grubs come out. So when the eggs, their resting period ends, they hatch and grubs come out, the young ants. Soldiers guard them, workers feed them and clean them, and also carry them about for daily airing, exercise and sunshine. So they have made a schedule wherein the soldiers will guard the grubs and the workers will provide them with food, help them in exercise, and take them out to enjoy the sunshine. 2 or 3 weeks later, grubs become cocoon and lie without food or activity for 3 weeks more. So later on what happened? Grubs become cocoon. Cocoon means they develop their body parts and they lie without any food or activity for 3 weeks. Then the cocoons break and perfect ants appear. And then what happens? This cocoon, it breaks and there an ant appears. Now it's time for teaching and training. Now they have to learn and train in their daily work. New ants learn their duties from old ants as workers, soldiers, builders, cleaners, etc. Now they have to also take the duties from the old ants. After a few weeks training, the small ants are ready to go out into the big world of work. And after proper training, they go out to work just like the old ants do. An anthill is a home not only for ants but also for some other creatures. Now, this is also a home of beetles, small insects, lesser breeds of ants, and the green fly. Why do ants want these alien creatures to live in their nests? Now, why these ants who are intelligent and wise still allow these other creatures to live with them? Now, why does it happen? If we say that they are intelligent, why would they allow strangers to live with them? They have a reason for it. For several reasons. Some give off smell pleasant to the ants' senses. Others give sweet juices. So some give them sweet smells, some give them sweet juices, and some just pets or playthings like cats and dogs to human beings. Like we have pets, same way they also keep some creatures as pets. The green fly is the ant's cow. The ants train it to give honeydew, like milk with a touch of their antennae. So they have kept green flies as human keeps cow, because green fly gives honeydew, which is a milk-like substance, when the ant's antenna touches them. They milk it just as we milk the cows. Have humans learned as much as ants have? Perhaps they have, but they haven't put their learning to good use. That means we as humans have learned something from ants, but it's high time that we should put that learning to use. We should apply that knowledge. They may still learn a few things from these tiny creatures: hard work, sense of duty, discipline, cleanliness, care for the young ones, and above all, a firm loyalty to the land where we live. So these are the all characteristics that we need to learn from the ants. How they work hard, how they have their sense of duties, discipline, how work is being carried, and most importantly, loyalty to the land where they live. So, interesting enough to know the facts about ants which we have never heard of. Nobody has told us this thing, but this story tells us some amazing facts. So, the story finishes over here.